And very pleased to see Fox all the way over in Australia, down in, is it Melbourne, mate? You are where you are now in
Basically
Melbourne,
Melbourne. Yeah, that's
right?
right. I'm a few clicks west of Melbourne, but that's okay. And the
Right, good on
little
you, mate.
rural
So that's
town.
rural town. That's what we like. I'm in the rural area of Japan up here, so you'd be right at home up here, I'd say. But
Yep.
mate, I'm really glad you can make it along. Unfortunately, Shane couldn't make it. That's your buddy in crime on the Hobby Homies podcast and Hobby Homies. It's quite a mouthful actually. Hobby Homies YouTube channel,
Yep.
which is where I discovered you guys, and I saw you
Yeah.
play lots of great indie games like Test of Honor, like you've got in front of you there, a wonderful display of Sohei and Ashigato scouts by the look of things,
Correct.
in
Well
front of
done.
in front of a little shrine there. So yeah, no, I'm really glad you can make a long Fox. Thanks again, mate, for coming on.
No, I appreciate you having me. I think it's a really cool turnaround where I think you might have commented on one of our you commented on a video that we did, and I just mentioned how much I loved the Swords and Sake channel. Like I think that channel is like the goat of Test of Honor content, because just when I'm if I want to sit down and play Test of Honor or paint some hobby, that's what I got on in the background. And so I
Nice.
just mentioned that to you, and then 3 days later we've teed this up, and now I've brought the swords and the sake, and this is a tasty drop too that I've had in my
Good
fridge
on you,
for
mate.
like 3 months and untouched, so it's a good excuse to break it out.
Mate, that wouldn't last 3 days in my house. I'd have drank it in about 3 days flat. My bottle's
Yeah,
down on the floor here, and unfortunately, I brought
that's it.
my nice glass, to bring it to drink it, and I bloody dropped the thing and smashed on the floor. So my wife could hear me screaming and yelling, cursing upstairs, and she just
Wow.
thought, okay, he smashed another glass. I think I've broken five. I think the dead set I've broken about 5 beer and sake glasses so far this year. I think I'm sure there's something behind that, and I'll need to go on the internet and check it out. It
I know what
hopefully
you need
brings
to
good
do.
fortune.
Yeah, you need to buy, because I think the problem is you're buying expensive glasses that you care about. You need to start buying the cheap ones that you're like, oh,
Yeah.
I don't care if this breaks, and then they'll never break. That was like my wedding ring. Every time I would lose it if it cost me
Yeah.
hundreds of dollars. The second I bought a $20 wedding ring, it's stuck around for the last few years. So it's always the way.
Yeah, and actually, that glass was a nice one. That was like a wedding present or something. That wasn't like an expensive one.
Oh
So,
no,
bit gutted about that. So, you drink the sake on my behalf, mate. I'll drink the beer on
I
this
will.
side. And
Done. We've
now, this
reversed
one.
roles.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Kampai.
Kanpai. Yeah, this I wonder how cheap this bottle would be over there for you. This is it's a Junmai Daiginjo, so it's the
It's
okay
good
stuff.
stuff. Yeah, it's good
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah.
and this cost me $22 Australian, so it was imported, obviously, and it's from Ipin, Sake Ipin.
Right.
Is Ipin
Well,
a?
actually,
Oh no, here we go. It's from Yoshikubo Sake Brewery,
Yoshikubo.
Ibaraki.
Okay. Ibaraki, that's where I'm from.
Is it
Mate.
really?
Yeah, it
No
is.
way. There you go. What on earth? I had about 30 bottles to pick from, and I've grabbed
Mate,
one that's from where you're from. There you go.
you did well, mate.
Ibaraki, Japan.
I'm also drinking some sake brewed here in
Yeah,
Ibaraki from my home, like my city, the major city, the capital city is Mito. So this is
right,
a Mito brewed sake called Fuku Shogun. It's
right.
actually quite a nice drop actually, but unfortunately, you'll have to drink the good stuff on that side, mate. I'll
Yeah, I
keep
will
this
do.
here,
I
and
will do.
otherwise I'll go
It was
wild with that stuff. Otherwise, yeah.
I cracked it just before and tasted some, and the lads, when they were still in here, Shannon Churchy, before they left, they were like, "Is it any good?" And I was like, "This might be one of the best I've had." So it must just be the region, mate. You're in the winner.
That's it, mate. Yeah.
So I'm guessing
Well,
there's
that's
a
good.
Yoshikubo, like brewery in in your area. So there you go. Check that out.
Well, if you can, take a photo of that label, mate, and
I'll
send it
send it
to
to
me,
you.
and I'll have a look, and I'll go and check in my local favourite shop.
Yep.
Um, that's the Yamaya. That's like the liquor land, like Dan Murphy's
Yep.
basically,
Oh,
equivalent
so
to
good.
Australian, and they've got loads and loads of different kinds of Nihonshu, all the Japanese sake there. So I'll go and check it out and see if I
Yeah.
can find a bottle and pick one up.
I was gonna ask when you go in. I'm assuming you don't say I want some sake. You say I want some neon shoe because I assume because I was just like, okay,
Yeah.
do you mean you want beer or
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you can say sake or Japanese sake, like Nihonshu. So,
yeah,
but
sure,
yeah. Oh,
yeah,
look, sake aside, let's talk about
mm-hmm.
the Hobby Homies channel because that's how I discovered you.
Sure,
It popped up, I think, on my feed at one point, and I saw you guys playing Test of Honor because I'm a bit of a Test of Honor nut, as you know. And thank you very
yep,
much for your compliments about my videos. I didn't think they were that great. I think you guys and Seventh Son do a wonderful representation of Test of Honor personally, and
sure.
you both
Thank
bring a
you.
different style and different kind of way of presenting it, but I like them equally. And
Yep,
I just couldn't wait to present Test of Honor on my channel, and I made an entire new channel apart from the Crown of Command just to have Test of
yep.
Honor and hopefully Baron's War at some point in the future, because they're the two kind of projects that I'm really quite passionate about. But Test of Honor is kind of ranked number one.
Yeah, nice. It's funny. I just did a we just did a video where it was like our top. Oh, you that might have been the video you commented on actually. The top indie war games of 2025. And even to this day, I was just talking to Shane about it, the co-host of our podcast before, and I was saying I still feel like Test of Honor and Blackout for me are 1A, 1B. You know, Test of Honor is just so. But I think the problem was I hadn't played Test of Honor recently, and we haven't really like completely dived into the Sengoku expansion, which I just feel like unlocks the rest of the game. It feels like. So, have you? Is that something you've recently just started playing around with?
The
The
Sengoku.
Sengoku. Yeah.
We've me and Paul played one of the scenarios in there, and I realised that I didn't have
Sure.
enough miniatures. I didn't have enough of the Ashigaru models. So next
Sure.
year, 2026, will be the. I want to collect everything. I want to collect all first edition sets. I want to collect all the second edition sets. I want to have the complete
Yep.
edition of everything. So it's going to be
Yeah.
just saving up the dosh and then placing it all with Grey for Now Games and eventually getting every single thing because I want all the cards. I want all the minis
Yeah. Nice.
and have it complete because I think the cards for me I love games with cards in it, so that's kind of the. I'm not a Pokemon guy. I'm not a the Digimon type people. I don't like collectible card games, but this is a kind of
Yep.
a nice collectible card game outlet for me, I think.
Yeah. It's
Getting
a
all the skill
great
cards
like.
and stuff.
It's a great. They're just quick references. You know. The art on them is fantastic.
Yeah.
Um, I we actually was speaking with the artist for a long time. I wonder if he's still doing work from Graham. That was I think it was Carmen.
Yeah.
Anyways, the art on it is fantastic, and like just having the quick references. It's funny. Shane and I took such a big break from Test of Honor when we picked it up and played at that time, most recently, and we just put the cards down in front of us for our units, and the rest of the game kind of just came back to us. I mean, we didn't. There was a lot of rules we got wrong, and things that we skipped, but the core of the game came back so quick where
Yeah.
we're actually super impressed that it was that intuitive to remember. All right, we just take the symbol out, activate that unit. This is what all the tests mean. We even remembered how many swords it took to do the tests and how many were a fumble or a critical success. um, yeah, it's great. And ever since that game, I still say that battle report was the most fun I've had playing a war game ever. And it's just the perfect theme, like feudal Japanese samurai war bands. Awesome. But it's also just like the core of the rules are quite simple. And so the fun comes from just having a beer, like, and having cool samurai slash each other down and stack up blood drops and cut people down dishonorably. It's cool. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it too, mate. I think there's a heart and soul about that game that normally I don't play skirmish games. I'm not a skirmish game guy. I've just never been attracted to them ever. So
Yeah.
this was the first time I've actually bought one, apart from playing like Necromunda back in the day.
Yeah.
I think that was the only skirmish game I really played that I can remember.
Yep.
And I've always been in the mass battle, rank and flank, Warhammer style type stuff. I suppose 40k second edition, that was kind of a skirmish game because you got small amounts of models. But
Sure.
yeah, Test of Honor, I saw it played on tabletop when the first edition came out,
All right.
and
Awesome.
when Graham Davey was actually running it with the guys there. And I thought,
Cool.
wow, this game looks fantastic. I love the theme. I love how the activations work. Everything about it was like a big plus for me. But and they actually had it in Japan here for sale, and I was almost going to buy it. And my friend at the time talked me out of it. He said, "Oh no, it's crap. You don't want to buy it." Blah blah blah. And I thought, well,
Okay.
if I've got no one to play it with,
Yeah.
I'm just not going to bother. So, and we were playing other games like, have you heard of Zenit Miniatures? Zenit?
Zenit. It no, no, I don't. The name sounds
Okay.
familiar, but I don't. Yeah.
Well, they're a Spanish company, and they also make their own miniatures. Very nice miniatures, actually, samurai miniatures and stuff like that. They've got like a
Oh, cool.
mythological section as well. They've created a couple of games. One was Tori, which is like a skirmish-based game, and
Yeah.
I think Kensei was their sort of mass battle game. So we were sort of tinkering around with those at the time.
Mm.
So it wasn't
I have
until
heard of
when
Kensei. Yeah.
have you heard Kensei?
Sorry.
Okay, Kensei is made by Zenit Games in Spain. Anyhow, so when second edition came out, COVID, I think it'd already been out, and then COVID came, and then I bought the set,
Yeah.
and I thought, what the hell? I'm just going to set it up and play it solo and just learn how to play the game. So I did it, and
Awesome.
I absolutely loved it, and I thought it was
Yeah.
such a great system. And
Yeah.
and then I've got other people to play it. So Paul started getting into playing it. He enjoyed it. I got Nick, another mate of mine who went recently back to the UK. He absolutely loved it. And everybody, I
You've
try
been
to
playing.
introduce. Sorry,
Have
yeah.
you been playing remotely with him? Did I see that? That looked like it worked
I
really well.
Yeah, I played remotely with a guy in Canada. He's Palmer.
Oh, sure. Sure.
Um,
Oh,
because
sorry, no,
yeah.
I'm remembering on your channel update that you just released the other day for Swords and Sake, you said now that your mate's gone back to the UK, you'll have to remote play with him. That's what I was thinking of.
I'll have to buy his faction. He's got the is it the Eco Rebels faction?
Oh yeah,
So
yeah. My favorite
I
faction
need,
that I don't have right now. Yeah.
yeah, so I need to grab those at some point, paint them up, and then represent his force and play it remotely. Now, the good thing about Test of Honor, because of the way you can pre-measure everything,
Mm-hmm.
that's great. Because I actually played a remote game during COVID too with another guy in Japan here, who also had
Oh,
the
sure.
game. No one to play with, and so we set it up one day and played it, and it worked perfectly fine. So yeah, because of that pre-measuring thing, and
Yeah.
they can see exactly where they need to go, and you can measure everything at any time. It works out really well, and there's only a very small amount of miniatures, small playing area.
Yeah.
So all those factors makes it possible to remote game.
That's good. And that leads into my follow-up question. Can we tee up a remote game? Because I would love to play Test of Honor with you. That'd be
Mate,
sick.
I would love to do that. That'd be great, mate.
Yeah.
Can
Yeah.
you host
We're
it?
gonna make that happen. Yeah, I can host it. Yeah, you're definitely more.
Yeah.
Something I noticed from your battle reports is you're definitely more across the rules than I am. So that'll be a good combo. I'll measure and I'll host and we'll use our cameras, but you
Yeah,
can be
yeah.
the rule book. Yeah.
All right, I owe Church some beers. Then basically, I'll need to get some beer money
Yeah.
over for him, mate, for doing that. Because I know. Yeah, that's one of the things I like about your channel. Not only because of the style, but of course the presentation. You know, you've got a
Yeah.
very nice, elaborate setup. We talked about that before we recorded. You know, where you're recording it from, and then
Yeah.
you've got Churchy in the background with all the camera setup,
Pressing all the
and
buttons. Yeah.
yeah, that's very high tech. It's very professional, I think. So
It's
I was quite surprised that you don't have a bigger following that you do. You know what I mean? I was kind of surprised that the
yeah.
channel
Thank you.
hasn't really grown as quickly as I thought it would. I
Yeah.
think that will happen, but I think I was kind of like, wow, they only have that many subs or that many views.
Yeah.
But I was pleased to see that your guards of Trader's Toll did pick up a lot of views, which is good.
It did. Yeah. It went
Good
crazy.
traction
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
People. Yeah. Every time if I open the my little YouTube app now, there'll be a comment of the Guards of Trader Stole video. It's nuts. Oh, there's two
That's
of
good,
them, I
mate.
think, plus the unboxing. Yeah, it's cool.
That's
It's
great.
awesome because when we feel like we're at a really manageable stage. Like the subs aren't massive, so we can actually interact with our community and stuff, which is really cool. Like we know everyone in our Discord. We do
Mm.
fear the day if it ever say blew up and got quite big. I don't know what it would look like. I just hope it would never lose its like authenticity, where you're just like, who are these
Yeah.
people? I've never seen this person before. So there's pros and cons. We love it. We feel like this is a really cool spot that we're in. plus we've got it. It's a really easy workflow for the battle reports. We literally just sit there
Mm.
and play a game. It's all one take. There's no real editing.
Oh,
It's
that's
just all,
good.
yeah. Churchy just changes the camera angles, and
Yep.
then sometimes we take breaks to get drinks or whatever, and he just slices those together. The editing for a battle report takes about 8 minutes, and then we leave and
Wow.
it's uploaded. Yeah, it's great.
Oh man, this is
So
my dream. I mean, my videos on
yeah,
Crown of Command take 2 days. I mean, I think
yeah,
that's one of the
yeah,
reasons why I chose to do the old format for Swords and Sake, because I didn't want
yeah,
to spend hours and hours and hours of editing, and so
yeah.
I wanted to just go back to how I used to do them. And I think those small skirmish games lend themselves very well to that.
Big time,
You know,
definitely. Like
so
there's not like I don't know what the percent increase of quality is between having 7 cameras and a phone, because you can see the same table. You get a feel. I actually feel like if you use, say, like a phone or a single camera that just moves around the table, you almost get a better feel for the game and where everything is than like swapping shots at times. So I
yeah.
think, yeah, I think they're both all good, and like I love them, and
Hmm.
I watch your battle reports, not ours. So I guess, but everyone likes to cringe at themselves. So
No, I enjoyed the last one you did, you and Shane, because you hadn't played for like 4 years or something like that, and
crazy.
you brought out your Sohei, because I'm painting the Sohei. Like, oh, I really want to get these guys on the table. Really looking forward to it. So seeing you guys
Yeah,
playing it, and it was funny at the end when you had like the big duel
yeah,
kind of thing at the end with the two mounted,
the
heroes
boss
fighting it
battle.
out. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
yeah, it
was
was
good.
cool. You're
Yeah.
so hyped, by the way. I wanted to ask, how did you paint them? They look fantastic, specifically the orange on their pants. They
Oh,
look
right.
incredible.
Well, that's a good point. Now, I'm actually going to start doing some more painting videos. I think people
Yeah,
appreciate
awesome.
those, so I'm
Yeah,
gearing up to do that as of Friday. Hopefully, do another update.
yeah,
But yeah, I
great.
think someone actually mentioned that. I think Mark in Japan actually mentioned about doing a painting video on those. So I do
Awesome.
have a couple more guys I can do plus the leader left. So I
Yeah,
will try
nice.
to do that, but I keep everything very simple, always
Yeah,
very simple. So I'm going like my Games Workshop roots, like this. I started with Games Workshop. I'm
yeah,
implementing those kind of styles and techniques into this stuff as well. So just a white undercoat. That's very effective when you're dealing with
yeah,
very light colors, and then just grabbing sort of like a 3 tier orange hue. So you got like a darker mid shade and like a lighter shade, and
yeah,
using that as sort of a 3 step kind of process,
yeah.
and then
Nice.
adding sort of like a beige or a warm yellow to the highlights or something like that, just on the
Yeah,
lined highlights. So yeah, I hope to show you those techniques and what I do with yellows and oranges, because I know they can be a real pain to get a really nice
yeah,
effect with. That's for sure, mate.
yeah. Yours just popped, and I was like, "That's great," because we had these ones done by like, this entire set was commission painted. It's the only commission
Oh,
painted
right.
set I had by a professional, and he just did an incredible job. And it was actually
Great.
my undoing, because I'm like, now I feel like I can't paint anything to slot in with these forces, because they're just going to look nowhere near like in comparison to the quality. So, but
Yeah.
I've actually moved past that. I'm super excited to. I grabbed one of Shane's unpainted Test of Honor models maybe like 2 weeks ago, and I can't wait to go home and paint it. So I think I'm ready to move on. These look fantastic, but I just need to paint my own stuff, because this isn't a full 24-point army on either side, even if you kit them out
Yeah.
as much as you can. So that's something that I still want to do, is like just make my own from scratch, probably Eco Icky, like the Eco Rebels, just
Yep.
a full 24 points of them, and just see how it goes. Yeah.
Nice,
But
mate.
I do.
Yeah.
I need some painting tips. So
Sure. I hope to bring those to the Swords and Sake channel for sure. And I've got a
yeah.
lot of Baron's War stuff to get through as well, for myself and
Yeah.
for other people. So we'll see
I
how we
saw
go, mate. But
I saw you mention that in your channel update as well about Baron's War. I don't know much about Baron's War. There's a heap of people in our Discord that play it and love it, and there's maybe a new edition or maybe a new box that just dropped somewhat recently.
That
But
one up there.
oh yeah, that one up there. Yeah,
My
nice.
gorgeous wife got me that for my birthday as a surprise before it was even released. So she managed
Wow,
to get a set before anybody else had it. So, but I still haven't bloody
wow.
finished painting the bloody the starter set for it. So it's quite funny.
Oh,
Everyone's been playing it except me. So I've been,
yeah, it's going on. It's really popular.
yeah, yeah, it's really popular. I think a lot of people are actually playing it, which is good. It's good. That's a
Yeah,
good sign. Um,
yeah.
and and I do have a mate of mine, Max, here in Japan, who now wants to try it. So I said, okay, great. Finally got someone who wants to give it a go, because
So good.
I've been collecting it since first edition, when the Outremer stuff started coming out, and it got really interested in that, doing the Hospital of Nights and all that kind of thing. The whole
Yeah, wow.
Crusader sort of theme to it. I really was really attracted to it, and I thought the paint jobs on them were really nice, and the figures were really
Yeah,
great, and I got
yeah.
really hooked into it. So I've made quite an investment in it, and now I really want to pay that off by actually playing it.
Sure.
Which kind of
So will you?
kicked off the whole channel, kicked off Swords and Sake with Baron's War, as the
Cool.
sort of the main thing. But then
Yeah.
Test of Honor, of course, got some coverage as well.
Hmm.
But I know that Baron's War is a very popular game. It's the hotness at the moment. So
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Test of Honor. It just doesn't feel like it gets the love that it deserves. But maybe it's a pretty niche game. Like there's a ton of feudal Japanese war games, and this one is quite simple, I suppose. It's not it's skirmish, but it's got that Hollywood vibe to it as well, where it's like the heroes are heroes, and the Ashigaru are just chaff foot soldiers. But I think it's such a well put together, like a well designed game, and it's probably because I think originally you mentioned first edition Test of Honor. Was that made by Graham when he was still working for Warlord Games? It was like an in-house game that they'd created, and then he left and asked, "Can I go and do my own thing with this?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure, take it." But I think he probably had access to a ton of play testers, because it does feel like such a complete game. So I don't know if that played into it at all.
well, I think Andy Hobday was a big part of that too, because he was like the co-writer
Yep,
and for the game,
that's
and
right.
he went on to do Baron's War.
Yep.
So
Oh,
he's
there
the
you go.
main writer for that, and along
Yep.
with other guys, I think in their group they had obviously friends who played and war gamed and wanted to create their own
Yep.
game. But yeah, he did it originally with Graham at
Great.
Warlord, I believe, when they were working there, and then I think they branched off, and I think Graham just bought the rights or the IP to it and ran
Yeah.
with it from there. So
Yeah.
thankfully he did that. Otherwise, it would have been a game that probably would never be around now. I don't know.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And it's
but
really cool
yeah,
to see, like in games like Guards of Trader's Toll, the blueprint of Test of Honor, even in that game, is really cool,
yes,
because it's like
yeah,
he obviously recognizes that this is such a great core system to be able to extend to his other titles, which is cool.
yeah. There's another game called Mortal Gods, which is also an Andy Hobday game. I don't know if Graham was part of that, but that's part of Footsore Miniatures,
Oh,
and that's
sure.
a almost identical system, not exactly, but a very similar system to Test of Honor, but with the Greek like Greek sort of theme to it, Greek pantheon
Oh,
theme.
cool.
So
Yeah.
you got all your what do you call them again? Spartans. That's right,
Yeah.
Spartans.
Nice.
I don't know much about
That's
Greek
cool.
mythology. I'll stop there. So
Yeah. Yeah.
otherwise, I'll get
Yeah. Yeah.
everything wrong. But I haven't played it, but it looks interesting as a system, because I know if it's like Test of Honor, I'd probably like the
Yeah.
system. The theme Test of Honor appeals to me more, but
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that's got a kind of a little follower base as well for that game.
Yeah. It's
So
good.
yeah,
I my goal is to the force that I want to make is like 20 more than 24 points, because I want to actually use some of the stuff out of, because Sengoku added like allies, like a little
yes,
I can't quite remember much about it. I've got the rules there. I'll flick through them in a sec, but I want to make like a it's my own clan. So I want to imagine this
oh
clan
cool.
existed somewhere up in the rural parts of a tiny town. It's got to be Clan Kitsune, because it's got to be Clan
Oh, of course,
Fox.
Fox. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. hence the little
I was
username
just
here.
about to say that. Yeah.
Yeah, this was actually made by someone
Right.
called T Kitsune, and she does this awesome art with.
Oh,
She uses the actual Japanese like tea art, so she uses little tea
wow.
leaves to color her image. So this is just one of
Right.
her designs that she printed out on a thing. But what's
Oh,
really cool
fantastic.
is I've been
Mm.
a big follower of her and her art style for ages. I
Mm.
have a heap of her artwork. It's all
Yeah.
stuff like this. It's all Fox focused. And I was wandering through um, PAX, which is one of our like it's the Penny Arcade Expo, which you might be familiar with. I'm not sure
Yep.
if it was around when you were back here. So it's a big convention, and they have a tabletop section. And I wandered into a booth, and all of the art in the booth looked exactly like this
Oh.
artist, T Kitsune. And I was like, oh, this. And they had like a little game, like a little card game. It was a bit of a wager, gambling, betting game, a bit of a 1v1 with these big cards that had incredible art that just looked copy and pasted from her stuff. And I was like, what is this game? And why does it look like an artist I chat with and have her artwork? And they're like, oh, she does the art for this game. We saw it, we loved it, and we created a game around it. And I was like, that's so weird. So I went out and bought the limited edition box of the game that they made, which the game's fine, but it just has beautiful art because it's just all her stuff.
Mm.
Um, and it's funny because all the lads that come into the studio and hang out, they were with me when I purchased it. I was like, this is it's $100 box, normally like $40 or $50, but I need the limited edition one because it means so much to me. I've known this artist for ages. I randomly stumble into a stall, and her tea art is the idea of the game. And they're like, oh, cool. We see so many of those limited edition boxes at all the conventions that we go to. They give me so much shit every time. They'll pick up one, and they'll be like, "Oh, Fox, you should really overpay for this limited edition box. You might never get it again." So that's the story behind this.
Right. Okay, mate. Yeah, great. No,
Yeah,
it's fantastic artwork. I must say, I was actually going to remark on that and ask you about it, whether you had done it yourself. But thank you very much for talking
yeah,
about the artist. T Kitsune? Kitsune.
yeah, yeah.
T
Oh, and
TEA?
yeah, T
Kitsune.
as in TEA because she does it with the
Mm,
tea leaves. The
sure.
yeah.
Yep.
So I'll link it in our video. Because
Great.
we'll release this on our channel, and I'll link all your like Crown of Command channel and
Swords and
the
sake.
Swords and Sake, but I'll also
Yeah.
put in the T Fox so people can go check her out
Great.
on.
That'd be
She's
good.
on
Yeah.
Coffee. Yeah, yeah,
Okay, nice. Okay,
so,
mate, that'd be good. I'll have to check that out. Okay, we're going to
yeah,
take a quick break. I need to refill my
yep,
beer because I'm run out, and
yeah,
we'll be
great.
back in just a moment. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I'm thinking very lucky to have such a great team of people dedicated to, what you guys are doing. You know what I mean? I think
Yeah,
that's lovely, mate. You got those nice guys helping you out, and they're equally as passionate. Now, Churchy, does he play as well? Play games as well?
couldn't care less about war games. He's a video
Oh,
gamer. He's got
really?
his own
Oh,
channel where he
right.
does all that kind of stuff. We keep trying to rope him in. Sometimes he'll
Huh.
begrudgingly roll dice with us, but yeah, not into it. Probably the
Hmm.
cost. I think the cost thing for him, and also the barrier of having to paint them and build them and all that. So,
Oh, right.
mm,
Well, I was going to say he's working. He's doing this within an entire garage filled with painted models and terrain and everything. Like, yeah.
exactly. Yep. Yep.
That's no
He doesn't have to
excuse
do
now.
anything. Yeah, I tell him if you want to play
Yeah.
anything, you just tell me this thing looks cool, and I'll build and paint and learn the rules, and we can play. But yeah, it's just
Yeah.
not his cup
No.
of tea, I guess, which is crazy to me. I can't fathom someone not wanting to war game.
I tell you what. There's a mate of mine in Japan who's like a massive Halo nut,
Yep.
and he's got the original Halo miniatures game.
Yeah, me
Do
too. The little yep, yeah, I love that
you
one.
remember seeing that one? Yeah, I've
Was it
never played it.
HeroClix?
No. These are from Spartan Games. These are like metal Spartan models and everything in 15 mil.
Yeah, okay. Ground Command, Halo Ground Command.
That's
Yeah,
it. Halo Grand Command.
yep,
And they had the Space
yeah,
Fleet one as well, and he's got all that. And he said, "Oh, you want to go give?" I said, "Next time I'm down in Tokyo, can you please run me a demo of that because I would love to play it." I sort of
Yeah.
missed the boat on that one. And he said, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. Like he's got everything. So I was like, yeah, I'm definitely in for that.
So good.
Absolutely.
I look at that game every few months because there's actually a really awesome community for it still, who just have all the STLs and files that you can print and play it, because obviously it's out of print now.
Yeah.
So the actual boxes pop up on that page every now and then. It's like a Facebook group, Halo Ground Command, and the price they charge, it's like $400 for the box. But the amount of times I've been like, wow, 400's a lot, but just to own that piece of, oh, because I'm a big Halo guy as well. I love it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it would be very cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, apparently my mate's got a spare box. So we'll have to strike a deal, I think, somewhere. Painting
Yes.
miniatures for him, and in return for exchange, because I know he's got like first edition box sets of Test of Honor stuff as well, and I sort of
Wow.
queried about those and said, "Oh, I saw those. You had those last time. Are you willing to sell those at all? Because I'd be really interested
Yep.
in getting those off you or whatever." Oh yeah, we can come
Yeah.
to a deal because I'm always painting stuff for him or whatever. So yeah,
Yep.
I'll have to
Perfect.
strike up a deal with that one in Halo, I think, because yeah, well, Churchy would be happy that Halo's coming to the PS5, the new Halo. Have you seen that?
I have. Yeah. Yeah. He actually hasn't said much about it. So I'm not sure if he doesn't know, or
All right.
if,
I'm very
I'm
excited.
not sure. Shane and I are massive Halo guys. I wonder,
Yeah.
I don't know how big of a Halo guy Churchy is. And that's because I tried to get him into Flashpoint. We've got Flashpoint here, and I've
Oh
patched up
yeah.
a couple of things for that. But
Yeah.
yeah, still no nibbles. So we'll
Right.
find a game for him.
We'll find a game.
But
Yeah, we have to
yeah,
get those sort of cross merger, like video game to tabletop game thing, because I know
yeah,
that Mantic do Halo now. They got the license to do the 20. I
yeah.
think it's 28 mil or 40 mil or whatever wherever it is, that the
It
big
is. It's a
Spartan
weird
ones.
scale. Yeah, it's. I think it's like a 38 mil. It's the
38
same.
mil, is it?
I feel like it's the same. So I don't know what they've officially said it is, but it feels the same size as like Conquest, The Last Argument of Kings. I don't know if you've seen that game. They have a weird scale too. I feel like it's
Yeah.
sort of in that vein. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I did want to ask,
Yeah, man.
because you have so much in in the background of your studio that I see there, but also
Mhm.
in a lot of your videos, I can see all the cool old school Warhammer boxes, where it's like the bright
Oh
blue
yeah,
and bright yellow,
it's on the
and so
wall.
much yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
and so much of your channel early on was like second edition battles, and a lot of it was Warhammer and Games Workshop content. Was Test of Honor your actual first foray into like indie war games, or was there others in between that I didn't catch?
That's a really good question because so I moved to Japan about 13 years ago,
Yep.
and before I left, I hadn't been into Games Workshop for a long time. I think I quit Games Workshop in 1999, 1998, somewhere around there,
Yep.
at the end of 5th edition Warhammer. So that was basically my time to say, I've had enough, I'm going on to do other things. So I went into other stuff like Rackham Entertainment, their game Confrontation. I absolutely love the
Right.
miniatures, Hybrid, the board game, the whole art style, the miniature painting, the figures themselves were just really cool and very different. So I got into that
Yep.
for quite a long time until my friend got me onto Infinity, and we started playing Infinity, and I got really into Infinity. So
Yep.
and that's all we did. That's the whole game I played, the sole game I played and painted for. So I did that for a long
Wow.
time and came to Japan with Infinity and Confrontation and painted that stuff up and tried to get a group of people to play it. So
Yep.
we've sort of formed a fairly small niche group of people that wanted to try it and had Japanese players and expats here playing it as well.
Yep.
And until they went to 4th edition, and then that's when I quit because I thought I just
Sure.
can't do another edition, more books. It's like being in a library, an
Yeah.
entire
Yeah.
bookshelf full of these supplements and expansions, and I just can't do it. I'm
Yep.
more of a practical learner. I don't know how you are, Fox, but I'm more of show me how to play the game. Don't tell me or show me. I don't want to read 300 pages of a book to find out, because I'll read a page and it'll just go in one ear out the other.
Yep.
I'm just dense that way. Maybe
No,
I'm a
I'm the
dense
exact
gamer.
same.
So
I'm built the same way. I don't know how much of this book, I'm sure I've flicked over this entire book, but the way I learned this game was battle reports. And then I would also
yeah,
supplement
yeah,
that by flicking over this because,
Mhm.
yeah, I'm the same. I can't sit there and read it, especially
Yep,
Infinity or the bigger games where it's like a tome. It's like I have to
that's
read
right.
15 pages just to understand how shooting works. Like, when am I going to
Yep.
play this game? Yeah.
Well, I think the other problem with Infinity, it was very fiddly on the movement
Mm.
and your reactions and line of sight was just terrible. It just got so horrible. It had like these silhouettes and then you'd have
Yeah.
your opponent would have to work with you in terms of what they can see, and some people would
Yeah.
be, at times dishonest about certain things,
Yeah.
and it'd be like, it was very stressful, I found, and I wanted to change. So that's when I got back into going into like 5th edition Warhammer, and the whole Crown
Yeah.
of Command started, and that's when it started
Yeah.
during at the start of the pandemic, 2020, and
Yeah. There you
so I
go.
got that back into that in a big way because it was very simple, easy games I enjoyed, loved to play. The miniatures were fantastic, and all that, and it brought a lot of joy to me. So I started getting into that heavily, and starting with nothing, and then getting what I have now, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And then during the course of that, I saw the tabletop video of Test of Honor, and we also had what's it called again? Song.
Okay.
What's it called again? It's like the oh god, I forget now. What's it
Oh,
called again?
it's
It's
is
a
it Game
mass
of Thrones one?
tabletop game. Game of Thrones. Thank you very much.
Song of Ice and Fire. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's
Yeah, I
it.
got
Song
you.
of Ice and Fire.
Yep,
Thank you. They call
yep.
it Song for some reason. Yeah, Song of Ice and Fire. So
Yeah,
we got that as a Kickstarter and really enjoyed that. That was before the Warhammer
yeah, it's
thing
cool.
started. So because I love rank and flank fantasy, so I got that first.
Yeah,
Really enjoyed that,
yep,
and then got back into the Warhammer stuff because of that. Really, because I really wanted to go back and hark back to the old days of playing Warhammer,
yep,
because it's more of a hobby kind of thing. And then, I think during that time, I was sort of dabbling with other rule systems. I really wanted to play something in feudal Japan. That kind of era interested me. And then I discovered um, Test of Honor, bought the set, and then started playing it remotely, learning the game. Found it very easy, intuitive, and I love that about it
yeah,
because I don't want to be sitting there reading through books, learning how to play the game. And you're probably the same, right? So
yeah, 100%.
I
Yeah,
don't I don't want to spend all that time working at how the game works. I just want to be able to play it very quickly and intuitively. Again, battle reports are a big help. Learning how to play
yeah,
the game, and it has a I mean, I hardly look at the book. That's the beauty of it. I
yeah,
hardly look at the rule
yeah.
book. You know. Yeah.
Shane and I
So
said that about one of our battle reports in the old studio where we were just like, we finished it up and we were just like, well, we didn't even, we touched the book a couple times and we had like probably two rules clarifications, but for the most part, we played off the quick reference guide we had like pinned to the wall where it was like, okay, all right, so this many dice, we've got a katana or we've got a naginata that does this. Yeah, it's great because you play it maybe twice. After that, you
yeah,
just get it, and so you can just operate from the
yeah.
cards in front of you. Maybe the quick reference if you need it after that. Yeah,
Got the
it's
quick
really good.
reference sheet up here, mate. Up here, so
There
it's
you
got a
go, pinned to
dedicated
the
spot.
wall. Yeah,
Because I saw you guys doing it. I saw you looking over
yeah,
to the side. I thought, gee, that's a good idea. I'm going to put my stuff on the wall
yeah,
too. I think that's brilliant. That was absolute
yeah, yeah.
genius.
There was a few
Yeah.
times where we were very obvious with it, where I'm just turned and staring
Yeah,
straight at the wall
yeah.
instead of the camera. I'm like, okay. So wait, he's a mounted, but what is that? Oh, it's an archer. A melee attack. Okay, so he's got daggers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. No, it's super
I thought it
cool.
was absolutely
And
brilliant idea. That. Yeah.
I think I think Infinity and those bigger games like 40k and stuff are great if you only play one game. But if you want to play
Mm,
multiple things like Baron's War, Test of Honor,
yeah.
other stuff, they need to be lighter rule sets, but you don't want it to be like light and empty. You want them to be light and still have depth.
Yeah.
So I feel like that Test of Honor is the epitome of that. Actually, another game that I feel is the epitome of that is Blackout, which is a great replacement for Infinity if you still have your models and that itch, by the way.
Right. I've actually sold everything, mate. I've sold every single model,
Yep.
every book,
Which,
everything. So
yeah, fair. Which faction were you when you were playing Infinity?
I was a dedicated Aleph faction fan and had pretty much everything for it. And then I also broke out into the military orders because of the whole, um, Templar
That
kind of theme to them. I kind of like them as well.
that feels military orders feels like it was kind of recent. I guess that was like the end of third edition, was it? That's probably when you
They
stopped
were
playing.
around. They were around in second edition.
Oh,
Um,
sure, okay. Maybe they just
so
redid a
that's
box or something that I saw.
yeah. I mean, they had various different iterations. They had different sectorials that they brought out with them and everything like that. So you had your Hospitaller and your what? There's the other one, Hospitaller and Templars. I can't remember now. It's been such a long
Sure.
time. I've been so out of the loop with all of that now,
Yeah.
and I'm
Yeah,
sure it's
same.
all changed 1,000 times over. And I respect the guys behind Infinity. I think Carlos is a fantastic sort of front spokesperson for the game. I think he does a wonderful job,
Yeah.
and I really enjoyed all that time with on tabletop. They collaborated on videos and campaigns, and
Yeah.
we were just enraptured with it because it was such a great time in the hobby.
Mm,
Um, but I think
respect.
it just became mental. Like the mental overload for me was just like migraines during playing games, and I thought, no,
Yeah.
I just can't. I just got to quit this because it's just getting me angry. Because everything would
Yeah.
rely on that one die roll, and if you didn't, like, you needed a 19 or something, and I rolled a 20,
Yeah.
and I'd be like, like just.
Yeah. Yeah.
I get pretty emotional in games. I think people notice that in battle reports when I film. So you can
Yeah.
just imagine the
Yeah.
swearing and carrying on. All in good fun though. But yeah,
Yeah.
it became it became very serious for me, and maybe Blackout is kind of the opposite of that, where it's more lighthearted fun, and it's
Yeah.
taken a few notches back on the rules, and it's just like, yeah, just play the game, don't play the rules,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah. Blackout is the test of honor to infinity, like test of honor of infinity, I would say, just because that you've got you've got cards for your units. That's your reference. The rules themselves, the core rules are quite simple, but it's still got that cool infinity reaction mechanic, um, which is great. So it means you always feel like, as the defender, you're still participating in the game, which is the great thing about Test of Honor. Obviously, you still
Yeah.
get your reactions if you haven't taken your token out yet. So it's a very similar vibe to Test of Honor. In the core rules are simple. You've got reference cards in front of you. And the last game we played, similar to Test of Honor, we played purely from the cards in front of us and the quick reference, with a couple of references to the rule books in the breaks, because who even knows how like grenades work. So yeah, it's very good. It's
Okay,
very good.
man.
And
I know you spoke very highly of it in your video, and I
yeah,
noticed when you had Test of Honor and Blackout, and you spoke about Test of Honor first. I knew that Blackout would be the winner, and
yeah, there you
that's
go.
totally fine. Like, I've never played Blackout. I haven't seen your videos on Blackout. I will
Yeah,
check them out and see what it's like, because just out of
yeah,
curiosity more than anything. Um,
yeah,
but yeah, you guys present quite a few interesting games that I didn't know about, and that video showed me a few of those. There's
yeah.
one that's really cool. Is it Blade Storm? Blade Strike?
Blade Wrath. Yeah,
Blade Wrath. That's it. Blade Wrath. I thought that was a pretty cool idea. 15 mil
yeah,
Vikings. Um,
yeah,
and
yeah.
they look
We've
cool.
got we did a battle report for it with the creator of the game, Luke, who is
Yeah.
basically a Viking. So
Yeah.
it's awesome. That game's awesome. It plays really well. I was a little bit intimidated because it's definitely more rules crunchy.
Right.
But I mean, and so it helped obviously to have the creator of the game sort of walk me through it. But I
Yeah.
definitely felt like you would need to play this 3 to 5 times, and then your head's wrapped around it, and then you need to play it often. But if you're looking for a crunchier skirmish Viking game, I just thought it was so cool, the way you could change your formation, and the paper scissors rock of figuring out what your berserkers would be good against versus these and outflanking, and getting hit from the flanks versus getting hit from the rear or getting hit from the front. Like, it was very cool. But it was
Mm.
just a bit too crunchy for my brain. Like you said, we just want something
Yeah.
we can pick up every now and then and throw some dice and have a drink and enjoy the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I subbed his channel because I thought it was nice having a couple of Aussie creators making games. I think that's
Yeah.
that's cool to see. And
Yeah.
is it the other one, the Fjord? The other one that's like the sailing game,
Fjord Serpents.
sailing Fjord Serpents. That's it.
Amazing game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
I've got the starter box. I can see it's looking at me with a couple of the expansions, a couple of the boats. So that's incredible. That game's fantastic. And again,
Mm,
crunchy, probably one step below Blade Wrath. But
yeah.
if you want to be Vikings in your long ships, grappling other boats, dragging them towards you, and then just assaulting them from your, and then killing half the crew and jumping on their ship and taking over their ship, it's awesome.
That's
Yeah, it
cool.
does everything that you would think it
Okay.
would do, which is cool.
All right.
Yeah, some great games,
Nice.
and yeah,
Mm,
like you said, it's really cool to see so many indie Australians actually getting these
yeah.
games out there and having them do well internationally, which is really awesome.
Yeah, no, that thanks to your video, I sort of discovered that and I thought, wow, that's cool. I didn't realize there were indie, Aussie indie game developers out there.
Yeah,
It's not something you would see very often. Usually from the US or UK,
yeah,
primarily. So
yeah.
it was nice to
It,
see that. So yeah,
it's
I'll
definitely
follow
a
what they're doing and see what they have. Yeah,
it's definitely a bigger battle for them. Obviously, like trying to get stock internationally, and because obviously we got
yeah,
to get it shipped here and made
yeah,
from various parties, and then packaged here, and then advertised to such a small market, and then sent internationally again, which shipping's a nightmare for. But it is
yeah,
really cool. Like it was great. We went to a convention which is called CanCon. That's the Canberra convention.
yeah,
Happens every year. You'd be familiar with it.
yep.
Um, we went there and we all caught up for beers on the Saturday night at the local pub. Outdoors, sun beaming, brews in hand. It was awesome. And then as he takes a sip of his drink, you're there. You're basically there. You can feel the sun on your sun on the back of your neck. You just need to be wearing your Akubra and your flannel, and you're there. And it was awesome because we had
Yeah.
the blokes from Warrnambool who had made War Surge, the other game that we mentioned in that video, talking across to Luke, who'd made Fjord Serpents at that time and was working on Blade Wrath, and then talking to Medbury Miniatures, who actually you kind
Oh,
of
right.
featured in your last video, um, your
Yeah.
channel update, where some of your community had been working on Medbury Miniatures,
Yep. Darren.
and
Yep.
yeah, and honestly, his miniatures are world class. I feel like if he did
Mm,
feudal Japanese sculpts, they would just blow me away. I feel like I should try and get in his ear about that. But yeah, his
yeah.
so it was really cool to see these, and it's like these guys are doing really, really well. So it
Yeah.
was really cool to just to watch them talk about their different struggles and the way they did certain things. It was like a networking meeting, and I'm just sitting there with a beer, like, wow, I just like all your games and models. So I'm just here to observe. I'm a fly on the wall.
Yeah, that Medbury Miniatures, that was a new one because I've never heard of them, but I kind of really like their designs actually, having seen a few now. I
Yeah,
think they do sort of like feudal European kind of knights and stuff, or
yeah,
100 Years' War, or things like
yeah,
that.
yeah, and Dark
So yeah, that
Ages
look
kind of
really
stuff as
nice.
well.
Dark Ages stuff as well. I need to go and check it out more actually, and have a look at their website and see what they've
Please
got
do.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
Medbury Miniatures, and him and his wife, who basically run the show, are amazing. Um,
right.
and yeah, we actually play this game often with Churchy, where we'll put a bunch of metal miniatures, and
Yeah.
we'll say pick out the Medbury one, and he's undefeated because he can just look
All
at all
right.
these different metal miniatures from different creators. We throw Corvus belly and footsore and everything in there. And I'm just like, which one do you think is Medbury Miniatures? He's like, it's that one.
Yeah.
And we're like, of course, yeah, it
Oh,
is.
nice
So
one.
I don't know how he does it.
Yeah.
I keep trying to steal his trade secrets, but
Mm,
yeah, his the quality of his metal sculpts is, in my opinion, second to none. But I told him that, and he said, no, you got to
yeah.
come over here and check out this guy, which was the stall across the road. And he's like, this guy
Yeah.
does this so well. So he's super humble too. So he just loves seeing
Nice.
that Aussies like get around each other, which is cool.
Cool. I'll have to get in. Yeah, I have to get in touch with him, get him on the podcast at some point in the future, and talk about Medbury Miniatures and how that all started. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's a question I'll ask you too, Fox. How did you guys start Hobby Homies? How did that all come about?
Yeah. Well, Hobby Homies came about because I had touched hobby years ago in my formative years in my youth when I went over to my mate's house, and what I saw happening on the floor of his bedroom was Terminator robots were fighting Zerglings from StarCraft, and I'm a massive StarCraft guy. And so what was actually happening was Tyranids were fighting Necrons. And
Uh,
I was like, what are you guys doing? And it was his whole bedroom that he was playing with. They were playing Paw Hammer. So it was just playing on the carpet with pizza boxes and beer
nice
cans.
one.
And
Yep.
I was like, this looks insane. What are you guys doing? And why have you not told me about this? We've been friends for years. They were all painted horribly, and half of them were missing arms or whatever.
Yep.
But I was like, I love this. And he's like, we're actually going to the reason they picked it up is because they were going to a tournament that weekend. And so they took me to that tournament, and I just saw this incredible Tyranid army where it was just a bunch of Hormagaunts. This would have been, I don't know which edition this would have been, probably like
Mm,
2005. Um, so I
mm.
don't know what that is, what that
Don't
converts
know. I
into
don't know
in
what it is.
editions. Yeah,
No idea, mate.
probably
No idea.
probably fifth actually, because I remember looking through the book
Yeah, could have
and
been.
going, wow, you can do all these like little different adaptations for your Zerglings, essentially,
Mm,
which were Hormagaunts. And so anyway, they were playing that, and I loved it. And I bought a box, and then I realized I bought a box, and it took me ages to build and paint them. I actually twisted them off the sprues because I didn't know you had to clip them. And then I tried to use my thumbnail to like get rid of it. They were hideous. And then I must have
yeah,
spent probably 6 months trying to paint up all 10. And then I went, okay, how do I play? They're like, oh, you need at least 10 more of what you've got. You need 10x what you have. And I was like, okay,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
out because this cost me everything. I'm a kid. And so then I never touched it
Yeah,
again
yeah.
until I'd actually moved up to Queensland, and the shopping center that I worked at, they had a Warhammer store in there, and I went in. There was a bloke called his name was Sava. He was awesome. Harlequins and I think Skitari Admech had just come out, and I liked the look of those, so I bought into those. But then eventually I and started trying to hobby, and I wasn't really playing. I was just hobbying with the
Yeah.
intention of playing, but I didn't know anyone, so it was a bit of I don't know why I was doing that. But then when I went to move back down to Victoria, I was like, I messaged all my friends and my brother's friends. I was like, does anyone want to play this weird game with me? Because if you don't, I'm just going to sell up my stuff before I pack them all in boxes and bring them down. And of all the people I messaged, Shane was like, I've always been kind of interested in that thing. And I was like, well, pick an army and I'll buy you a
Yeah.
box. And he picked Necrons. And in the store, there was actually a bloke selling 2 battle boxes of Necrons
Mm.
for the price of half of one battle box. So I just
Oh,
grabbed
nice.
that, brought that down, and for ages, Shane and I just played. And the way it
Yeah.
started was we were sending voice messages to each other every day, probably like, I would say like hours, maybe 2 hours of voice messages to and fro throughout a day of just talking about how much we love the tabletop game and hobby. And
Mm.
we'd sent them to our other friends, and they kind of got absorbed into it. But we quickly found that a problem we had was that we didn't know anyone else that was playing. We didn't have any
Yeah.
homies to play with, to do hobby with. So somehow throughout that, he said, "Oh, I've got a friend called Churchy who has a bit of a studio in his house. Why don't we just sit down and like the things that we send messages to each other? Why don't we just sit down and talk about that and see what happens?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, we could probably do that for a couple months and see what happens." And then we did, and we kind of had uh, like 30 people kind of flood to the Discord in the first
Mm.
month or two, and we're like,
Great.
that's crazy that we've just put this thing out. We don't know anyone, and there's 30 people that are just like excited about talking about hobby with us. And then from there, the idea of just creating a community just took off. And then we started being like, oh, okay, what if we buy another camera and then we can do battle reports, and here we are, absolutely enveloped by hobby.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
You're taking over
yeah,
Shane's house, mate.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
So,
he's
yeah,
inside
you have, mate.
sleeping, and I'm
Yeah.
out in his garage in the studio, just looking at all his stuff
That's
that he hasn't
classic.
painted. Yeah.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
So
No,
yeah,
sorry, mate, I was going to say you build up a great community. I'm part of your Discord as well, and
yeah,
it's really nice to see so many people who are really encouraging and really actively doing stuff with the hobby and being
yeah,
part of this whole thing, which is really nice. It's good to
yeah. It's
see.
awesome. It's crazy. There's so many people in the Discord that we've met at conventions and caught up with and had beers with at CanCon and things like that. So that's that's the that's the best part by far. Is just like this weird thing that we do, but we all love it so much that if you play a game and it's different to mine, the fact that we play a game, a tabletop game, that's enough. We can base a friendship off that. We can have beers on that. So that's the cool thing about wargaming is you find if someone is into wargaming, they're not half it. They're not like, oh yeah, I play it every now and then. They're fully in and they love
Yeah,
it. And that passion is just infectious and we can just feed off each other. And yeah, it's great.
yeah, it's wonderful, mate. So, plans for actually first before that, what Christmas presents do you have in store for hobby this year, if any?
It's a good question. I have a massive, it's not a Christmas present, but I do have a
Mm,
massive old project that that I wanted to get done by this year. And I've got a huge Kroot army for Warhammer 40K. And
mhm.
I don't play Warhammer anymore, but I want to finish this army. Maybe I'll play because I've always loved Kroot ever since I got into 40K, but they've never been something you could field a 2,000 point
Yeah,
like legal army with. But they've obviously refreshed them since then, and now you can. And
right.
when they did that, I went crazy and bought as much as I could. So I've got half of it built, none of it painted, and my goal is just to smash that out. And I don't know if I'll play with it, if I'll hit up sort of the local 40K scene and try and play some games and remember the rules, or if I'll just pick it off because it's
Yeah,
actually of all the miniatures I have, it's the entirety of my backlog right now is just those models.
yeah.
So to tick that off and say I don't have any unpainted models in my collection is going to be a huge excuse to go and buy more Test of Honor and paint them
That's
up.
it.
So
Good
yeah,
stuff, mate.
yeah,
Any plans of playing Test of Honor at all on the Hobby Homies
yeah,
channel?
yeah. It will be um, largely featured next year for sure.
Great.
We have a big temple that got printed from us by one of our local guys, Oz Wargaming, and ever since I saw that temple, I was like, I want to print up a couple more things and supplement the collection that we already have. But I want to also go out and buy a full the Eco Rebels force, and just have a full force of that, paint that up, and then Shane can use a mismatch of this scouts and Sohai here, and
Yeah,
we'll do a full proper with the Sengoku expansion, which we've barely touched. We'd love
cool.
to. Yeah, it will be. It will be played next year multiple times. We're excited about it. So
Awesome. Really looking forward to that. And I know many other people will be too who are Test of Honor fans. That's great, mate. That's good to hear.
yeah,
Um,
we've sort of
and
come
any
full
other?
circle with it too.
Yeah, you
Because
have, mate. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, because we played it originally. It was sort of our first indie war game almost ever. We loved it. We played it. Took a break. Came back. Played it that one time. Constantly talk about how much fun it was and how we should play it again. And then our goal was always grab another force, get into the Sengoku rules, and get into it. So we failed to do it at the second half of the year because so many other cool games distracted us because we're like moths to flames. So, but yeah, we're excited to crack back in.
good, mate. That's great to hear. You got the sake ready, so that's one of the first things you need to
It's empty
to
inside.
christen
Yeah,
the
yeah,
new year with Test of Honor. That's a good
yeah.
idea. And any other plans for 2026 you want to share for the Hobby Homies channel at all? That you have things coming up or upcoming?
Yeah, yeah, we do. We're actually changing kind of our format for next year. We're basically going to pick a game every month and lock in on that. Because a problem we have right now is we pick a game in the studio and we paint it and we learn the rules and then we release battle reports. And then by the time the battle reports come out, so many of our like Discord members are like, "Wow, this game's really cool," but we've already started the next one. So we're
Yeah,
just changing it up a little bit. Next year, we're gonna sort of say, hey, this is the game we're working on this month. If this is something that interests you and you want to get in it, let's hobby and paint and learn this game together. And then at the end of the month, we'll film battle reports, um, and then we'll start moving on to the next one. So a couple of those months will be Test of Honor, and well, at least we've got 1 month locked in for Test of Honor. But
yeah,
yeah, that's probably the only change. We want to just make sure we're still doing one video every single week on that channel. So yeah,
Good, mate.
there's and we have a couple of creators we've been talking to who are making games, but I'm pretty pumped about the StarCraft game just because it's StarCraft and the people that are making it, Archon Studios, are big StarCraft fans. So
No.
yeah, that's coming out probably March, maybe midway through next year, with pre-orders early next year. So we're pretty pumped about that, but we'll see. We'll see.
Well, you might even get Churchy in that one if he likes StarCraft. He's a PC gamer, isn't he?
He is, and it's funny. The videos in his entire collection of over 800 videos, I think he's made. The one that he spent the most time on was a StarCraft one that got like almost no plays, like no views. And he constantly talks about it's like the one you care about the most and put the most into. It's
Yeah.
always the one that has the least plays. So, but that
Yeah.
was the StarCraft 2 video. He loves it. I reckon that could be the game that ropes him in. So we'll see.
I think so, mate. That could be the one.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
finally, on Shane, is he more of a painter, gamer, or a drinker?
Oh, drinker. Oh, actually,
Yeah.
he has his phases. I think Shane's definitely
Yeah.
a feast or famine guy as well. So
Yeah.
sometimes all he does is drink, and then sometimes all he does is paint, and then sometimes all he wants to do is play. So I think he
Right.
just ebbs and
Okay.
flows
Good on him.
because
Yep.
I think there was recently he painted maybe 3 or 4 back-to-back armies of like
Mm.
sludge and other things, and then didn't do anything for 6 months except for drink and play games. So
Right.
yeah. What about yourself? How would you identify yourself? Painter or
Well,
player?
all three, I think. Yeah, I like to
Yeah.
game. I do really like to game, even though I'm a terrible gamer. Dice rolls will dictate the fate, and
Yep.
on most occasions with me. But I do enjoy getting across the table with somebody and having a good game, having a beer and just rolling dice, like pretty much what you guys do. I really
Yeah.
that's why I think that's what attracted me to your channel, because you guys are genuinely just having a good time, joking around,
Yeah.
having fun. Playing a game you enjoy and rolling dice, having a couple of beers as you're doing it. So
Yep.
I kind of like that. But of course, I've been a painter ever since I discovered miniatures. So it's like when I was about 17.
Yeah.
So I've been
Wow.
heavily obsessed with painting since then, and I paint every day. I do it for a job. I'm a commission painter by trade.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
yeah.
So you
So
could, in theory, paint me up
yeah.
my test of honor force.
I could definitely do that, yeah, but I don't want to take it away from the good skills that you're your
No, no,
commission
no.
painter you've already assigned. But yeah, mate, if you want
Oh
to do
no,
that, that's fine.
he doesn't
Yeah.
do it anymore. That was a big problem. We
Oh,
actually
right.
wanted him to do more, but he's
Oh,
packed up shop. So
well, there you
we'll
go.
talk. That's
Well,
interesting. I'd love
that's a
that.
great
That'd be
little
cool.
business opportunity. That's
Yeah, it's so
fantastic.
good. Yep. That's awesome.
Yeah, so
All right, cool. We'll tee that up.
yeah, I run eavylead Studios, which I've been doing now for the last 2.5 years, which has been thankfully to a lot of people out there, it has been quite successful. So
Yeah.
so I'm
Awesome.
really appreciative of that, because sometimes I have to pinch myself and think, my God, I'm doing this for a living and people are paying me to paint miniatures, which is really kind of strange
Yeah.
in a way.
Yeah. Yep.
So that's a great honor and a great privilege. So I really enjoy doing that for people and creating their dream armies or dream projects or whatever. It
Yep.
does come at a sacrifice. I don't get to paint so much for myself. So when I do stuff for myself, what I really like to do is actually get stuck into this, because it's ideally very small amounts of
Yeah.
miniatures. So it's a small warband or something. I can pump that out really quickly, over a weekend or something. So that's kind of
Yeah.
my go-to escape is Test of
Yeah.
Honor or Baron's War, mate. That kind of thing.
Yeah. I actually
so-
have so many questions. I don't know how much time we have. I think we'll have to do another episode together.
We'll have to do another episode. We'll have to do it on your side, mate.
Yeah.
You have to flip it around. So with the Hobby Homies
That's right.
like
I'll host
podcast,
you.
and you
Yep.
can host me. That'd be great. I really
Yeah.
appreciate that, mate. It'd be really good. Yeah, I really like that.
Have you got any plans to come to Australia? And when you do, you must swing by the studio because you'll fit right in here. We'll have a brewski. We'll have a
Mate,
sake,
yeah.
We'll play some Test of Honor.
Well, I'd love to, and thank you so much again for the invitation. I did go this year to Brisbane to attend the Sustained Fire event, which is a Warhammer 40k second edition This is
Yeah.
well before your time, Fox, I think, mate. This is when,
Yeah.
when we were quite young, and I got to play
Yeah.
with guys that I haven't seen for like 30 odd years and play games with them, and it was amazing. So a lot of grey hair in that room, I can tell you. So
It's coming
I'll have to hang
through.
out. Yeah, I have to hang out with you young dudes down there in Victoria, Melbourne, some point at some time, and play some Test of Honor. But equally,
Yeah.
you know, if you guys come to Japan, you're more than welcome to come and see me here at the studio. And
Awesome.
yeah, I'd love to host you guys and play some games together and drink lots of.
That'd be sweet.
Well, I've got a 1.8 liter bottle here. I think we can polish that off, can't we? Between the two of us.
Yeah, well, I mean, what's this? This is 300 mils. This is gone. This is but a vapor in the wind. So,
Exactly. Yeah,
yeah,
I think we can
I think
do
we
it.
can
It'll be a
definitely
challenge. Yeah,
um
a test of drinking honor,
a test
if
of
anything.
dishonor, probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
One last question. So explain to me, this might be a tangent. We might have to cover this
Mm.
another time. But I see a lot of your episodes, or sorry, your videos. You have a series called "Thank Gork It's Sunday." Um,
Oh, right.
explain to
Yeah.
me, as a person who's quite new, what the heck is Gorkamorka? Because I've heard of it so many times, but I just don't know what it is. It's an orc thing. It might be like an orc god or something.
Yeah.
It was a
This
game,
is
right?
Yeah, this is a good thing for you actually, Fox. It just tells your age, mate, which is great.
Yeah,
I know
there you
I know
go.
you both are young guys, which is lovely. I love to see the youth in the hobby. So
Yeah,
basically, Gork and Mork are gods of the orcs. They're the gods. So
sure.
from back in the day of early Rogue Trader,
Yep,
and so Rogue Trader was like the initial 40k release of the game, and they brought out some supplements and books and everything. And Gork and Mork were mentioned as being the orc gods
sure.
that the orcs worshipped, basically. So yeah, I do
Yep.
it. I try to do every Friday. Thank Orc it's Friday, and
Thank God it's
do a little
Friday.
update,
Sorry. Yeah,
that kind of thing. But I do sometimes
yeah,
Sunday, sometime whatever it is, you know.
sure.
But yeah, I'm glad you're actually watching those. That's quite
Yeah,
interesting. So that's funny, mate. But
yeah.
my friend, thank you so much again, Fox, for coming on today. I really appreciate it. We're just out of time. I'm sorry, but
All
please
good.
host me next time, and I look forward to seeing
Done.
you then and talk to you then, mate.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Loved it. Thanks for having me. This was awesome. Thank you.
Cheers, mate. Thanks so much again. Take
Toodles.
care.